Good morning. Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM, WEEB.
Shut up about politics. It ain't nothing but a big...
Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with U.S. Marine retired Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Morning, Moore County. Hey, time to get out of the rack. Get out on the street, get in formation. Let's hold a police call. Let's do some calisthenics. Let's go. Move it.
All right, you got your standing orders. Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube does the work. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. If you're on your mobile device, just looking at our audio, well, that's done with many streaming services and apps like TuneIn, iTunes, Streama, Alexa, even Google. It just does it. So just put WEEB in the search. Or you can get it off of our website in the upper right-hand corner of every one of our web pages where it says, listen live on the air. Click that once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area is going to be sunny with a high of 84. Then tonight, mostly clear, a low of 58. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 82. So these 2 days are going to be pretty much as good as it gets for this time of year. Plus, the humidity is going to be in the upper 50s. So,
good deal.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about you for the next 2 days.
It's just that we need to bottle this and hold it for the rest of the summer. Because Wednesday, by the way, Wednesday, big turn, about face. It'll be partly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms, high of 89. In other words, you're going to sweat. Thursday, same thing, high of 89. Friday, same thing, these thunderstorms, a high of 86. Saturday, 86. Sunday, 85. Still with a chance of thunderstorm every day.
I know you're looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. So it's kind of...
Don't lie. I know you're actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's when my dog crawls under me, and that still ain't good enough. They're looking to crawl inside my clothes just to get away from that thunderstorm. They don't like it. And I don't know if there's a cure for it, but these thunder shirts, I think placebo effect, they don't really help.
No,
Yeah,
never helped with ours.
May help the owners, so they feel like they did something. They didn't work on yours at all?
No. All it did was help a retailer make some money.
At least you put money back in the economy.
There's somebody, I'm sure, somewhere that'll said it worked on their dog. But
Yeah.
it didn't work on ours.
Okay, and you had two of them.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what was I working on? Oh, yeah, the weather. So today, tomorrow, take advantage of it because then we get into a typical summer-like pattern. Oh, I forgot. It's not summer for another
couple of weeks.
19 days. But we're going to go ahead and start today. Now I take it back. We're going to start last week.
It's always good to get an early start.
Yeah, but it just keeps coming back for encores over and over and over again at the end of summer. September 21st is supposed to be done. And you go, boy, we're just getting started. You got all of September to endure, all of October to endure before it finally starts to subside. Yeah, we know it's coming. That's the point. Let's be hopefully we can be pleasantly shocked with days like today and tomorrow for a lot more of the time. This is the type of days that get up in New York and Boston and things like that. Boston. Where they
Whatever, up there somewhere.
Up there in Little Land.
Yeah, and they also get 6-7 feet of snow every year, too, or more. Thank you. I'll take it.
I didn't say anything about their winters. I just said summers. What they pay for in the winter, they get back in the summer.
Now, you can get some hot days up there. 90 plus, a lot of humidity.
Yeah, there are always 3 days of exceptions, but for the most part. But the one place that seems to win at all is Des Moines, Iowa. I watch them every summer. And they get warm days, and they get cool nights, and they get dew points in the 40s. Pretty much all summer long. And you go, you can take pretty much any temperature around here if you got dew points in the 40s.
They got a spare radio station out there?
Hey, I'll trade. You got a screwed up school board needs straightening out? I'll trade.
I'm sure they do somewhere out there. They're all too common.
Yeah.
I guess they have one down there in Horry County, South Carolina. They're well aware of what's going on down there because we have the same thing with the same people going on up here.
This is when the staff does all the decision-making instead of the school board. This is what you get. And the school board ducks out, well, we just give them guidance. Yeah, well, how about do the job, run the thing? You think that can be done? Just saying. All right, we got a lot to get to today, so let's be getting to it. I couldn't resist the new song by John Rich there called Shut Up About Politics. Climate, it's an instant #1 song. People only have to hear it once and they say, play it again.
Yep.
Play it again there, Billy Bob. Well, it's graduation time. And celebrities and politicians alike are going to graduation ceremonies and giving speeches. And, it's just so many speeches you can give before you got to start stealing from others. A girl in West Virginia realized her high school principal plagiarized his graduation speech from Ashton Kutcher's speech last week. If you don't remember, Ashton Kutcher gave a surprisingly good speech at a Teen Choice Award in 2013 when he won their Ultimate Choice Award. This guy copied it word for word. He even used the same teenage job of carrying shingles at a construction site. The girl posted the video online that cuts between the speeches, but we put them together.
That opportunity looks a lot like hard work. When I was a kid growing up,
when I was 13, I had my first job with my dad carrying shingles up to the roof.
Company carrying shingles up and down a ladder to a roof.
And I've never had a job in my life that I was better than.
I was always
just lucky to have a
job.
And every job I had was a stepping stone to my next job. And I never quit my job until I had my next job. And so opportunities look a lot like work.
For me, look like hard work.
Yeah, I actually got those opportunities when some producer came up and grabbed him by the hand and said, let's go in this room for a few moments and get that, quote, contract signed, shall we?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his background is. Did he grow up in a
I don't know.
Entertainment family?
I don't know. You're blowing my joke real bad here.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I am. That's what I'm here for.
Well, the news talked about the high school senior in West Virginia who noticed her principal plagiarized Ashton Kutcher's speech at graduation. She says he needs to apologize. So far, he's only released a weak statement with a bunch of lame excuses. Well, yeah, he's a school employee.
I think a lot of us I regret what I've done because I'm in a position of leadership and power and I'm a role model to students. And doing this is something that I tell them is wrong, so I should think it's wrong too.
I wonder if they got caught. If a student got caught plagiarizing.
Oh, you know what would happen.
Because all the teacher intended with the power of these search engines now is type a sentence in to Google, and it'll spit out speeches left and right that include that sentence.
You don't even need to do that. There's programming that's been around for a while. Where
really?
You put whatever the article, paper, term paper, whatever, you can download it entirely, and this programming will tell you what percentage of it is been rehashed or not. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember a good old 5th grade when we were told to write a poem about some subject matter. And I went across the street to a neighbor's and I borrowed her book of poems. And, back then they had books that had the first line of poems, and you could go and see if somebody plagiarized or help you find the point.
Sure. Yep.
And I wrote the poem, plagiarizing it out of the book. And the teachers said, "Let me see that poem," because it was really good. A real tear-jerking poem. I said, "Here you go." She never could find that poem, so she couldn't give me an F.
Well,
although she knew I wasn't smart enough to write something like that.
It would be simple today. They could just scan it in, and if it's in any kind of work that has been, digitized or whatever, it's going to come back and say, "Hey, here it is, right here."
No.
Oh yeah, and that's been around for a while. I remember, I would say close to 20 years at least.
Well, another school-related employee, blaming everybody but herself. School bus driver in Ohio got a DUI on Thursday afternoon while she was driving a bus full of kids. People say she was weaving all over the road and almost slipped. And then the local news talked to her after she got out of jail. And she blamed it all on a bad donut.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Moldy donut.
Yeah. Well, the DA disagrees.
I got something from the school to eat, and it had made me sick.
What did you have?
A donut. To eat a donut. My stomach was just hurting so bad that my wheel fell off the curb. That's all it was. And then it was, going at 45 miles an hour, it's going to whip back.
You're entrusted to take care of other people's children, to shepherd them from school back to their homes. And when you violate that trust, in my mind, that's unexcusable. She consented to a blood draw, so until we get the blood back, we're not going to know what the actual cause of her impairment was, but I rest assured it was not a donut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you got a mom in Florida. We got problems all up and down the East Coast with all these teachers.
Yeah.
Mom in Florida is upset about a note her son's teacher put at the top of his science homework. It said, quote, "WTF is this?" Absolutely no credit. Here's the mom and the principal.
To see WTF, what is this? Basically, is this? There's no credit. It wasn't anything about not getting the credit. It was more so the language about what they're writing to a student. That was very inappropriate and not acceptable for a teacher whatsoever. I think for sure she needs to be reprimanded. I believe that something should be placed in her file.
She was apologetic. It was a mistake on her part. All of the teachers at Rutherford High School are caring, loving teachers, and we're also human. And when we make mistakes, we try to correct those mistakes and move forward.
Without any background on previous things with this teacher, that last guy that was just speaking, was that the principal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go, because that teacher's dealing with high school kids. There's no telling. I probably wouldn't make a day in there without my WTF moment.
I'd write a letter to the mom. What? WTF, Mom? What? Are you not engaged with your students' work?
I mean, it's not appropriate, but the thing is, everybody knows what it is, and it's almost, so what? But no, the teacher shouldn't have put that on there. But the same token, yeah, I kind of agree with the principal.
Well, off the coast of North Carolina this weekend at Topsail Beach, they spotted 2 alligators in the surf.
Yeah, I've seen alligators in the surf out there.
Have you?
Yes, off Onslow Beach, Camp Lejeune. I stood right on the beach and watched one about 12 feet long come over the little berm there from the inland waterway and tool around down on the surf for about 20 minutes, and then he went back.
Guess the salt water got to his eyes, huh?
Don't know.
Well, anyway, where you live now could be dangerous to your health, Colonel. You live on the lake.
Everywhere is dangerous to your health.
There's a couple amusing 911. Let's see. There are a couple amusing 911 calls about a giant alligator in someone's kitchen on Friday.
Ooh, good.
In where else? Florida.
Flour dough.
Florida. 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 In Florida. First, a newspaper delivery woman spotted it outside someone's door. The next call came from a lady to say the gator was inside her kitchen.
There is about a 10 to 15-foot alligator that was in the road, and it is now thrashing around in front of one of the units in their door. And it is huge. And if that owner wakes up, they're going to be in big problems because it's right there in front of their door, and he's making a sound. I mean, he's thrashing.
I have a gigantic alligator who came into my garage and is sitting in my kitchen. A huge one.
I'm sorry, is it in your house?
Yes.
Okay, you said it's huge. It's in your kitchen?
Yes.
He's hungry.
Yeah, here, let me
I'm on the menu.
Let me send you a picture. I saw the picture of that. That was a big alligator.
Yeah, Granny, maybe you have to go back to new school and cut the AC on instead of leaving doors and windows open.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hey, all this the environmentalism stuff has worked. You got a lot of species making a comeback.
And while we're in Florida, a couple got arrested last week for leaving their pet pig in a car outside a mall. A woman saw the pig and got a security guard, but he didn't do anything, so she called the cops. They finally broke a window and saved it after the pig started foaming at the mouth. Here's the woman calling in to a news station to explain what happened.
The pig has no water, has no food, and he's freaking out. At this point, an hour since I made the video, this pig has been in here, and he's foaming at the mouth. When he foamed at that mouth, I was freaking out. He was shaking, and that's when I turned to the cop and said, "Can you please break the window?" They broke the window, got the pig in the back seat of the cop car. Luckily, we had water, so we sprayed that water all along the pig. He finally was responding to us. I was so happy because this pig is so cute and adorable, so it was just very gratifying knowing that I was able to save a life because it was going to die.
Mm-hmm. Well, according to a new study, the most distracting music to listen to when you drive is heavy metal.
Do they still play that?
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to play that?
There you go. It makes your reaction time significantly slower. Classical music makes you too relaxed, and the pop and hip-hop have the fewest negative effects.
Pop and hip-hop. Okay.
Yeah, you just drive along hoping your windows don't shatter. Or you can just listen to us. Makes more sense. The metal bands they used in the study were Slipknot.
Never heard of them.
Well, that's them right there. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's... Sounds like make it up as you go music.
Sounds like a traffic accident.
Yeah, everybody's playing the solo. At the same time. Okay. And...
I don't know who listens.
This is what it sounds like when a driver is listening to a Kiss song, I guess, and things don't go right. Okay.
That was
theory proved.
That was an improvement.
Yeah. Well, theory proved. He was wearing head buds, I guess.
Oh, okay.
A company called Kangaroo, spelled with a C, of course.
Kangaroo. Okay.
Wants to compete with e-scooters by using pogo sticks. You grab a pogo stick off the street, unlock it with the app, and bounce around until whatever you're doing. Even dumber, they're launching it in San Francisco, which is all hills. I guess you can pogo stick down the hill.
Well, plus they got a lot of obstacles and slippery spots to worry about too.
Yeah,
I mean, it sounds good till you hit one and you lose your traction.
Well, I used to be pretty good at pogo sticking. I mean, I'd jump for hours if I wanted to, but yeah, climbing the driveway was no fun.
I don't know. Never did pogo.
Key to pogo stick is seeing how high you can go up.
Okay.
And they got guys now that can do 360s and all sorts of things with the pogo stick. But
okay.
I'm trying to get to work. I'm sure not going to use a pogo stick. Here's a PSA about pogo sticks from 1962, proving that they were even lame back then.
Pogo sticks were all the rage 30 years ago, and now they've returned in a big way. These kids even box on them, but the pogo stick rage isn't confined to school children. The glamour girls at the Windmill Theatre use them to keep fit for their strenuous routines. But glamour girls aren't the only adults who jump about town. Here's a young lady who's hopping to post a letter. She's 19-year-old Leslie Glass, who finds that window shopping is much more fun this way.
Yeah, until you take a bad bounce and crash through the show window.
Were they wearing helmets and elbow pads and stuff?
I don't know.
Okay. Probably. Well, see, you'd
probably
have to,
not back then.
Well, they'd pass a law and you'd have to wear all that now. Knee pads, elbow pads, gloves. With little reinforced knuckles and helmets and goggles.
Back then, we just got a little skinned up.
Yeah. Well, you can't have that.
I mean, the first time you try to do the pogo stick, you may get 2 bounces, 3 at the most, and then you fall to the side until you get your hang of keeping that center of gravity over the stick.
Can you go up the stairs? You see you go up the stairs.
I can do it.
Okay.
No problem.
I'll bring my pogo stick tomorrow.
Bring it on in here. Go out front, and I'll be working those stairs over. An inmate at a prison in Minnesota tried to commit suicide last week by jumping off a large ledge into a common area. But three other inmates said, "Nah, you're not dying today." And they saved him by catching him in a laundry cart.
Okay.
And the sheriff went to see them in prison to say, "Thanks, guys."
I was very, very shocked when he actually jumped. And my natural reaction was to catch the guy. So I ran over, I grabbed the bin, and I just was like, man, please don't do it. You know, I think that there's a hero in everybody.
We're not all bad in here. Some of us have good hearts.
We're not judged by whether or not we're in here. We're judged by what's in your heart. You did. You saved a guy's life. Thank you.
What are you in here for, by the way? Oh, triple murder.
Well, where'd they say they were in prison or the county jail?
Minnesota.
They just said Minnesota.
Prison.
Prison? Yeah, okay. Well, they probably did something fairly serious then.
And name that sound, Colonel.
Train
This is the sound of a giant cruise ship coming right at you.
Cruise ship?
While you're stuck on a tiny dock. Happened yesterday in Venice, Italy. Apparently the cruise ship had engine problems and couldn't stop. So it crashed into a smaller sightseeing boat and the dock. From the video, it's amazing more people weren't seriously hurt. 5 people were slightly injured. You can hear a crying woman asking if the crew of the tourism boat is all right. You ever seen those commercials about we have those intimate tours and all glass boats that go down the river. You seen those? You haven't seen those?
Glass bottom boat?
What's the name of that commercial? It's on Fox all the time.
I don't know. I don't watch
Viking tours.
Cruises.
Viking tours. And then you got this 15-story cruise ship coming at you. And it comes between your bow and your dock, and the cruise ship just hit his bow and then wedged himself right between the dock and the sightseeing boat and started pushing him out out in the channel. A lot of people the locals are trying to get these cruise ships banned in Venice because they just don't fit the canals very well.
No.
They just weren't made for them. And you got all these, but there's too much money involved because you got all these tourists sitting there leaning over the rails looking at, oh, look at the charm and the so forth and so on. As long as they got people willing to part with their money, there'll be people there to get it.
Yes, there will. I don't know if those big cruise ships do much for the foundations there in Venice either.
Last week we found out that on the first day Ellen did Carson, her car rolled down a hill. Now that her full interview with Letterman is streaming on Netflix, we found out that she got bumped from the real first Carson appearance because Robert Goulet couldn't remember the words to the lyrics to the song Memories.
Okay.
Here's the interview.
Yeah.
I got bumped because Robert Goulet was singing Memories and he kept forgetting the words. Carson thought that was so funny that they didn't want to stop and start. He was crying, laughing. It was so funny. And I'm backstage pacing because I don't want to sit down or ruin my nice outfit. You've seen it. And so I see this going on, and everyone's laughing except for me going, I am going to get bumped. I know it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got bumped.
Okay.
Well, you know, you get all those songs you got to remember. You got to have some sheet music somewhere. I couldn't remember all those different songs.
Well, even Cher, when she does a concert, has like 5 TV cameras, monitors across the stage with the words rolling the whole time, so she can't forget a line.
No, absolutely, you have to. Some of
you
these
have
guys,
moments where it just goes blank.
Yeah, those old timers, back in the 50s or whatever, unless somebody was there with cue cards, which I doubt. Those guys would just go one after the other after the other. I mean, you got to be pretty sharp to do that. I couldn't do it.
No. Well, with today's technology, no reason not to have the teleprompter.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Everything was typed up for you last hour.
Yep.
And they bring it out. All right. Got 2 minutes. All right. Carrie Ann in Arbor, she used to be a judge on Dancing with the Stars.
Don't know her.
Yeah, they go, Carrie Ann in Arbor. Okay. I got to say it with the accent. God blessed him when she was young and thought it was due to being attractive. So she started dressing as a tomboy to keep older guys from looking at her in that way.
When I was a child, I was molested, so I felt like, that, and I thought that it was because I was, attractive, and you get a lot of attention when you're young and you're a cute little girl and people come up to you, men included, boys included, and sometimes the advances are unwanted. And I think because of that, I really grew up kind of more like a tomboy and always trying to, I would look in the mirror and be like, I like this, and then I would do something to make it uglier on purpose. Yeah, to make it look, oh, it looks too pulled together, this outfit. I better wear flip-flops with this dress, or, something to make it feel less pulled together. I've always done that.
Yeah, it reminds me of the time I was at Bo's grocery store, and this is true. And the guy, two people in front of me at the checkout line had a bottle of Cisco. Mm-hmm. That's like liquid crack of wine.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And there was an attractive girl between him and me in line 2. And he turns to her and says, "You want to go with me to share this?" He was obviously an alcoholic, and go up under the Newton US 1 bridge here and share this bad boy. God. I know it's a turn on for you.
Right, there you go.
All right, 8 o'clock. Here comes all your latest news, sports, and weather. We'll be back.
A cold front that worked its way across our area is now leaving behind beautiful conditions. For this afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies and less humidity. Highs will be fairly cooler in the lower 80s and upper 80s to the south. Mostly clear for tonight as we fall into the lower 50s. Highs For tomorrow, will be warmer. Expect temperatures in the mid-80s and lower 90s to the south. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Wally Hines in Washington. Welcoming ceremonies for President Trump at Buckingham Palace this morning, the start of his official state visit.
The key moments in the state visit are an audience with the Queen in London, D-Day commemoration ceremonies, and Donald Trump's first presidential visit to Ireland. Trump will meet with outgoing British Prime Minister Theresa May, but the initial focus is on elaborate ceremonies in his honour. The London leg begins with the Queen holding a grand welcoming ceremony at Buckingham Palace, then moves on to a formal tea with Prince Charles, and ends with a sumptuous state banquet during the evening. Charles de Ledesma, London.
We're learning more about the heroic actions of those 4 police officers who rushed into the Virginia Beach Municipal Center on Friday after a gunman opened fire, killing 12. Police Chief James Severa says the officers were able to find and neutralize the gunman in less than 10 minutes. Despite the building's complicated layout.
It's a honeycomb. That's the best way to explain it. It's a maze where the workers are. Where the citizens come in is very well controlled, but those offices, especially the further into the building you get, becomes extremely difficult to navigate.
The gunman was reportedly facing disciplinary action over workplace behavior. Indian Air Force pilots have spotted 5 bodies in the Indian Himalayas while searching for 8 climbers who have been missing for a week. 2 Americans among the missing. Recovery operations have been suspended because of heavy snowfall and high winds. Germany is condemning violence in Sudan that has led to the deaths of more than a dozen protesters. Spokesman for the Foreign Ministry says that Germany is deeply worried about the latest developments in Khartoum after security forces cleared a protest camp outside the army headquarters in Sudan's capital. News and analysis at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had a lot of credit card debt, and I couldn't pay my bills. I was feeling so bad. I got to a point where I needed some help. So I reached out and contacted Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They were able to take all of my different payments and put them all together.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
And they were actually able to work with my creditors. I've been able to pay off close to $15,000 in the last 18 months.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Stephanie, and I'm debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
A federal judge in Indianapolis is scheduled to hear arguments today in the ACLU's bid to block a new Indiana law that would ban a second trimester abortion procedure. The group is seeking a preliminary injunction to prevent the ban from taking effect on July 1st. Sudanese security forces have attacked a pro-democracy protest outside the military headquarters in the capital of Khartoum.
These latest attacks against protesters are yet another sign that at least some senior members of the Sudanese military have had enough of the protesters' demands and have no intention of handing over power to a civilian administration. On the streets of Khartoum, people are pointing the finger at the notorious paramilitary unit known as the Rapid Support Forces. It was set up in order to help keep the former President Omar al-Bashir in power and has its roots in the Darfur conflict, which began in 2003. Then known as the Janjaweed, this militia carried out frequent massacres.
That's BBC correspondent Will Ross reporting. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Wally Hines. A Japanese former ambassador is reported to have stabbed his son to death because he feared the younger man would harm other people.
Hideaki Kumazawa apparently told police that his 44-year-old reclusive son, who lived with his parents, could be violent. The older man appears to have become increasingly concerned after a knife attack in Japan last week left 2 people dead. It was carried out by a man who's thought to have seldom left home. Hours before this latest stabbing on Saturday, the son is thought to have become angry at noise from an athletics event near where the family lived in Tokyo. Japan's former ambassador to the Czech Republic could now be charged with murdering his own son.
The BBC's Michael Bristow reporting. A Seattle man who was angry that someone parked a car at his duplex without permission built a fence around it. Dan Smith says he won't release the car until the company pays storage fees. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt. John Barath is the executive officer for operations at Moore County Schools. He's the guy who's the most influential when hiring various contractors for our schools. Barath has guided Moore County Schools almost exclusively to the use of SFLA architects. That firm has made and continues to make millions of dollars, your millions of dollars, for Moore County. Barath used to work for SFLA. In fact, he was a high-ranking member of that firm. He comes here, and all of a sudden, that's the only firm we use. Something wrong with that, don't you think? Barath is also the guy who fooled us into accepting the purchase of the chemical dump site where we're now building a school. When Barath conducted his briefing about that land, he never mentioned that it was a pesticide dump site listed on the EPA Superfund site. You can watch the video and confirm that. There's more. There's a whole lot more. Stand by.
War Dog's Army Surplus Store in Southern Pines is Southern Pines' #1 surplus store. Serving the Fort Bragg area, we buy, sell, and trade military, tactical, outdoor clothing, and gear. We are your military surplus low-price leader and take pride in serving our local military members and community. Bring us your military gear because we pay more and sell for less than anyone in the area, guaranteed. At War Dogs, we make it our top priority to provide quality, high-end tactical gear at the lowest prices. Come in today and bring your used gear or check out our massive inventory, the largest in Southern Pines. We're open Monday through Friday, 10:30 until 5:30 and 11 to 4 on Saturday. We're located at 675 Southwest Broad Street in Southern Pines, right across the street from Beefeaters. Or give us a call at 910-920-7749. That's 920-7749. War Dogs.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Pride Plumbing is proud to serve Moore County with superior workmanship and dependable plumbing service, including 24/7 emergency service. Like the name says, we take pride in our work and your safety. Our employees must pass background and drug tests and share Pride Plumbing's reputation for quality service. From simple leaky faucets to new water heaters and sewer lines, backflow testing and installation, drain cleaning, plumbing repairs, and, if necessary, replacement and remodeling. A family business with over 50 years of prideful service. Go online to callprideplumbing.com and check out our 5-star customer reviews. We offer a 10% discount to all veterans and active military. Call Pride Plumbing of Moore County at 910-295-0152. 910-295-0152. Serving with pride since 1965.
Jared Kirk and Amy McBride of the First Casualty Insurance Group in Southern Pines talk about the benefits of being an FCIG customer.
Our agency has been in business since 1984. We are an independent agency, which means that we have numerous carriers. Having multiple carriers benefits our customers because it offers them more options for their coverage and price.
One of the most asked questions we get from our clients is how much do they need to insure their home for? Many clients think they should insure their home based on tax value or what they could sell their home for. Neither is correct.
Insurance carriers want to insure your home for the replacement value. Replacement value is what it would take to rebuild your home back to its current state in the event of a complete loss.
First Casualty Insurance Group of Southern Pines. Call them today at 910-692-8303 or find them on the web at fcignc.com.
At NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. President Trump and the First Lady have arrived at Buckingham Palace, where they will have lunch with Queen Elizabeth and other members of the royal family. Tomorrow, Brexit will be on Mr. Trump's agenda when he meets with the outgoing British Prime Minister Theresa May. CBS's Paula Reed is in London.
He's already risked insulting his royal hosts. In an interview with The Sun, President Trump described the Duchess of Sussex as nasty after he was told the American had called him misogynistic.
A 17-year-old girl was bitten on Sunday afternoon by what is believed to be a shark. Atlantic Beach firefighters and paramedics responded to Fort Macon State Park. Paige Winter suffered severe injuries to her leg and hands and was airlifted to Vidant Medical Center. Lacey Wharton witnessed the attack and tells WCTI News.
Officials were rushing towards her and the whistles were blown. Everyone was screaming and they quickly got everybody out of the water.
CBS's Jerika Duncan is in Virginia Beach this morning, where the 12 victims of the mass shooting at the municipal building over the weekend are being honored with vigils and prayer services, including one where the bishop spoke about one of the victims, Ryan Keith Cox, who is credited with saving 7 lives when he ushered colleagues into an office before the shooter could harm them.
Bishop Ezekiel Williams knew one of the victims, Ryan Keith Cox, and called him a talented musician.
He cultivated that gift and became a phenomenal singer.
What do you tell the community like this that has been affected on so many levels?
I think it's a time where it causes us to really understand how quick life can be taken from you.
Charlotte-Mecklenburg police are investigating after a gas station clerk was shot and killed during a robbery in West Charlotte. CMBD says officers were called to the gas station. No one has been arrested. A 19-year-old has died and another person was injured in a crash Sunday in Johnston County. You're listening to NCN News.
There are millions of unused and leftover opioid pills in North Carolina alone, enough to stretch from the mountains to the coast. These powerful prescription pills are contributing to an epidemic that takes 5 lives every day. But there is something more powerful than opioids. All of us. We can take back our extra pills and ask our healthcare providers about alternatives for pain. Together, we can take back our communities. Learn how you can help end the epidemic at morepowerfulnc.org.
If you're ready for some fun, then you're ready for the Summer Fundraiser on UNC TV. Tonight, Happy Days are here again, starting at 8 with Magic Moments, the best of 50s pop, showcasing chart-topping harmonies from your favorite groups and solo artists. Then at 10, join the musical celebration for star tenor Andrea Bocelli at 60. It's the Summer Fundraiser, and it's some fun. Now through June 9th, only at member-supported UNC TV, PBS, and more at unctv.org/specials.
There's more growth in the state's largest industry. The latest agricultural numbers have been released showing a significant increase. North Carolina Ag Commissioner Steve Troxler says the numbers, which are from 2017, display an upturn.
What we've seen is the economic impact of agriculture and agribusiness is up. It's now $91.8 billion, which is an increase over the 87 that we're at.
A Louisiana school official lets loose at an unlikely location. CBS News correspondent Deborah Rodriguez.
Catholic high school principal Michael Camo has resigned after he was arrested at a strip club in Washington, D.C. during a school field trip. A spokesman for the Baton Rouge Diocese says he was busted at Archibald's Gentlemen's Club, a short walk from the White House. The diocese says there were no students with Camo. They were in their hotel rooms under the watch of other chaperones. Camo was also charged with public intoxication after he was accused of skipping out on his bill at the club. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
One person has died after a fiery crash in Pitt County over the weekend. They are not releasing the victim's name until the family is notified. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Severe weather in the plains and Midwest has brought flooding to places like Little Rock, Arkansas.
All the work we done to prevent flooding, it didn't work.
We met Larry Campbell Saturday as he worked to pack up his house into the back of a truck.
Take care.
Sunday, his garage looked far different.
The water's about 5 inches deep. Hey, it's all the way through our house.
Volunteers drop everything they're doing to help.
Anything that I had planned today was, minuscule compared to just helping those who are going through troubles.
Filling sandbags, for people like Terrell Newton.
I actually had my boat out here just swimming around in the yard.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
It is going to be a lovely afternoon as our temperatures will head into the lower 80s and upper 80s to the south. Expect less humidity and mostly sunny skies as well. We will kick off the start of Tuesday with fairly chilly temperatures. We'll cool off into the lower 50s and upper 50s to the south. But by the afternoon on Tuesday, we'll warm things right back up. We'll head into the mid 80s and lower 90s to the south. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, it's sunny and 70 degrees. Humidity 73%, dew point 61 and falling. Pressure is 29.94. Winds north-northeast at 7. Visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Monday morning. Pinehurst plans to sue neighboring Taylortown over what it says is the illegal annexation of land on NC 211 earlier this month. The pilot reporting that village attorney Mike Newman said Thursday that the annexation is void because it violates state law. It simply does not meet any of the statutory requirements set forth by the state of North Carolina for a non-contiguous annexation, Newman said. Newman also said the village also felt compelled to act because 211 is an important corridor to the village and the county. A Pinehurst-based developer is moving forward with plans for Blake Village, a $70 million mixed-use development that would front on the east side of NC5 in Aberdeen. If approved, Riley Walker Homes' proposed development will be the first traditional neighborhood commercial mixed-use property to be constructed in Moore County. It is also the first project to seek rezoning as a planned unit development, or PUD, since Aberdeen formally adopted a comprehensive land development plan earlier this year, and it is the first subdivision project to be formally reviewed since Aberdeen and Pinehurst signed a interlocal agreement to share information about potential development within the close proximity of shared borders. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. It is 8:17.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Klay Thompson scored 25 points and Steph Curry added 23 for Golden State as the Warriors beat the Raptors last night in Toronto to even the NBA Finals at a game apiece. 109-104, the final score. The Warriors took control with a 20-0 run, including the first 18 points of the second half. Steph Curry on the monster comeback.
Everybody's involved, whether they're scoring or setting screens or making the assist or whatever the case is. Everybody feels good, and the vibe is just solid.
Game 3 on Wednesday at Oakland. Kyle Busch had pulled even with Hall of Famer Rusty Wallace for 9th on the NASCAR Cup Series victory list by taking Sunday's race at Pocono. Busch had the dominant car down the stretch and earned his 55th Cup win and first in nearly 2 months. He said he's still not happy, though, with the new aerodynamic rules after his only pass for the lead was on Clint Boyer during lap 75.
I don't know if anybody else passed anybody on the racetrack for the lead like that, but if so, then maybe this package is awesome, but that's all I know.
Brad Keselowski finished second, followed by Eric Jones, Chase Elliott, and Clint Boyer, rounding up the top 5. Off to college sports, where the NCAA baseball tournament is underway. Austin Berger struck out 8, and North Carolina beat Tennessee 5-2 to advance to the Super Regionals. Ashton McGee's 2-run single highlighted the 4-run first inning that sent the top-seeded Tar Heels into the tournament's second weekend for the 8th time since 2006. Third-seeded Duke beat Texas A&M 4-1 Sunday night to capture their second regional in as many years. The Blue Devils advance to the Super Regionals. They'll play Vanderbilt, the winner of the Nashville Regional. Number 15, NC State's season came to a close on Sunday with a 9-2 loss to ECU in the Greenville Regional. The championship game this afternoon, ECU will face a challenge by Campbell, who came back from behind to win in the 9th, 9-8 over Quinnipiac. This is NCN Sports.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month or less. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway included at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/access now to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes taxes and fees. Includes 1 terabyte of data per month. Data overage charges apply. For details about data allowance, go to att.com/internet-usage. Geographic and service restrictions apply.
Patrick Cantlay closed with an 8-under 64 to capture the PGA's Memorial in comeback fashion. He began the round in a 4-stroke hole before posting a 2-shot win over Adam Scott. It was the lowest final round by a winner in tournament history, and it moved the 27-year-old Californian into the top 10 in the world. Marty Keimer started with a 2-shot lead as he sought his first victory in 5 years, but he never recovered from a back-to-back bogey period on the back 9. Men's second seed Rafael Nadal and third seed Roger Federer have advanced to the French Open quarterfinals with straight-set victories on Sunday. On the women's side, the quarterfinals will include 7th seed Sloane Stephens after she coasted to a straight-set victory over number 19 Garbine Muguruza. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
I'm here with Aaron Cooper of Cooper Ford in Carthage to talk about service. Aaron, I know that service is a big deal in Cooper country. In fact, certified service after the sale is all part of the Cooper promise.
That's right. At Cooper Ford, we promise to do what we say we're going to do, when and how we say we're going to do it. And speaking of service, May is Military Appreciation Month at Cooper Ford, and I'd like to personally thank all the men and women who have served this great country. It's always an honor to serve those who serve, and as a small token of our appreciation, during the month of May, all active, retired, or veteran military personnel will get 1 free oil change and up to $1,000 off any new or pre-owned vehicle with a valid military ID. With no games, no gimmicks, just upfront, honest pricing, and certified service after the sale. I'm Eric Cooper, and I want to know you by name. Come in today and let Cooper Ford show you how car buying should be.
Just off 15501 in Carthage. Just a few short minutes from the traffic circle. Or on the web at cooperford.net. Cooper Ford, working hard to be your hometown dealer.
7 days a week, we're on the job. John Cole's Plumbing Professionals. Fast, friendly, quality service. You know we can do it all. We can do it all. Don't just call a plumber. Call a professional. John Cole's Plumbing Professionals.
At John Cole Plumbing, plumbing is what they do. That's why they are plumbing professionals. Plumbing all day, every day, with quality, honest service for you. Don't just call a plumber, call a professional. 910-639-4933. 639-4933.
Don't just call a plumber. Call a professional. John Cole's Plumbing Professionals.
You look out the window. It's dark. You lock the doors. Maybe you set an alarm. You take every precaution. Do whatever it takes to keep your home safe. But it's not. In fact, termites may be destroying your home right now. You may not see them. You may not hear them. But by the time you see the damage termites cause, it may be too late. So don't wait, because now there is something new. Introducing Termidor, the unique treatment that wipes out 100% of the termites in your home in 3 months or less. They'll never see it coming. But you can't get it from any store. So ask for Termidor by name from your pest control company. Because if you're not asking for Termidor, you're asking for trouble.
Termidor is available at Aberdeen Exterminating. Call 944-2474. For service, that's 944-2474.
The iMedicare app is a great tool to help seniors pick an insurance plan for Medicare Part D, the part that pays for prescription medications. Open enrollment for Part D is October through December, which is by far the busiest time. However, Health Innovations Pharmacy wants to remind you that throughout the year, people become eligible for Part D, and they can help you pick out the best plan to save you money. Stop by Health Innovations Pharmacy for an iMedicare plan consultation and get ahead of the game. Health Innovations Innovations Pharmacy is a caring partner in maintaining your good health and locally owned. Don't be a number. Shop local so your tax dollars stay in and benefit Moore County. Health Innovations Pharmacy, Pinehurst Avenue in Southern Pines between US 1 and 15501.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Did you ever see one of those movies where something bad is going on in a community and a few people know about it but can't stop it from happening? It usually involves a couple of rich guys who are evil and who stand to make a lot of money if certain deals go through. In the end, the town always stops them, but that's only in the movies. In real life, I don't think it always turns out that way. In real life, it seems to me you can't even get the local newspaper to print a thing about the facts of the case. In real life, no legislator steps up to the plate, puts his career on the line to try to do the right thing. In real life, when there are so many people who stand to make a lot of money off something, like a school being built next to a pesticide dump site, it's hard to stop it. In real life, the guy we trust to protect our kids recommends the school board purchase land near a chemical dump site and never once mentions the chemicals to them. I was at that meeting, and we've got video of it. Yep, in real life, when there are tens of millions of dollars to be made by investors and builders, it's almost impossible to get it shut down. I know that, and I understand real life a lot better than most. But let me tell you something, you money-grubbing scum. I'm not going to stop, and when the truth's spread, you guys are going to be in trouble. That's how this movie ends, in the Zumwalt Zone.
A cold front that worked its way across our area is now leaving behind beautiful conditions. For this afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies and less humidity. Highs will be fairly cooler in the lower 80s and upper 80s to the south. Mostly clear for tonight as we fall into the lower 50s. Highs for tomorrow will be warmer. Expect temperatures in the mid-80s and lower 90s to the south. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Good morning.
Today is a very special day.
It's a very special day. Why is today a special day? Because today is
TGIM. That's right.
Today is...
Thank God it's Monday. Thank God it's
Monday.
Wait, is that a real thing?
Is that a real thing? Why, yes, it is.
Google it.
You can Google it. It's worth a Google.
I don't need to.
I believe you.
You know what else I just realized?
It's showtime.
And confused because lately you've been starting to losing out on everything.
Good morning.
Bad luck fella's got to hold on you.
Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Jeff, Colonel.
Morning, Moore County. Hey, up and at 'em. Good day. Out on the street, boots and utes. We're going to do a little run. Ready? Let's go. 5 miles.
5 miles. Oh, you're nice today.
Oh, it's a run.
Run. Not a jog. All right, you got your standing orders. We got your best entertainment. Don't forget, of course, this program is being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. If you're on a mobile device, you can get it with the YouTube app. Put Mornings with the Leader Man into the search. If you're on your mobile device just needing our audio, we suggest many streaming apps like TuneIn, iTunes, Streamer, Google, and Google Assist, and Alexa. All of them will play us. Just put WEEB into those searches, and all the apps are free. If you're on your mobile, on your regular computer, want it off of our website, that's available anytime. Upper right-hand corner of every web page at talk973.com. That's an icon that says "On the Air, Listen Live." Tap it once with your little cursor, and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. The next 2 days are going to be picture perfect. So take advantage of them. Sunny today and tomorrow. High both days in the low 80s. Overnight low, you can throw the windows open finally. 58 degrees will be overnight low tonight, 65 tomorrow night. Anyway, then the party reverses. We get a southwest wind, and that brings in the chance of scattered thunderstorms, higher humidity, and higher temperatures. 89 to 90 will be the, basically 85 to 89 will be the temperature range. Wednesday through Sunday with a chance of an afternoon scattered thunderstorm or two each day. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are northeast at 7, visibility 10 statute miles, pressure 2994, dew point 61, humidity at 73% and falling. It's sunny. Let's see if that's a current tip or not. Let's see, it's sunny and still 70 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:29, 29 past the hour on this Monday. Yesterday I went to eat at Taco Bell. A friend of mine and I were there and got in the drive-in line and get to the infamous order station. And I ordered. I said, I want a number 12. What would you like to drink with that? I said, a Coke. Will Pepsi be okay? Yes. All right. I said, then I need 2 Taco Supremes and a Mountain Dew. So then she changes the order. My Pepsi all of a sudden goes to a Mountain Dew.
Well, it's got more caffeine in it anyways.
I mean,
it's better for you.
Couldn't get it through her head. There were 2 orders going in here.
Did you get the cotton candy Mountain Dew?
No. And then when I said, it's still not right. She says, well, I can't hear you. I said, I can't speak any clearer. And she cops an attitude with me. I'm already ticked from having to do it 3 times because she's sitting there yakking in the background. I can hear her yakking because she's covering the mic every time she does. Is sounds like that.
Yes, a radio professional would recognize that.
Yes, I am trained to hear those kinds of sounds. But they didn't know who they were talking to.
Obviously not.
A trained radio professional. So anyway, I get to the window. I said, let me speak to the manager because obviously hopefully she's not as stupid as you are.
Oh, man, you didn't actually eat all this. Did you?
So she gets the manager. Now here comes a disheveled female with hair in a man bun and shirt tail hanging out to her knees, all wrinkled up. And I said, whoa, boy, what a great example of a manager. He said, can I help you? I said, yeah, I just like my order correct. Well, you were not speaking up. I was listening. She was trying to get you order. I said, she was running her mouth in the background and not paying attention. That's why I wasn't right. So then she gives me all the food, and I said, and slams the window on me. I go, knock, 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 knock. And she opens it back up. I said, I still didn't get my Mountain Dew. Uh-oh. And most people would fill it up, give it to you, you drive on. Not her.
Get out of here.
She had to charge me because she was ticked.
Yes. Yeah.
And she said, I said, I'm gonna go to your owner and talk to him. Oh, what's her name? You don't even know her name. I said, I do one better for you. We'll go to the CEO of the franchise. See what he thinks. And I said, looked right on the receipt. He said, see there, it's asking for my opinion right there. I can get $500 to give it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Then I pointed to my windshield. I said, see there, there's a camera recorded every second of this. So we got it on tape. You're not going to be able to deny a thing. And I'll be dealing with you in the future. Plus, look at all the free advertising you just got for Taco Bell. Said to her, I said, if you take that shirt tail of yours and tuck it in and look like a manager, maybe the rest of your employees will start acting like responsible employees.
I'm sure they
just a thought.
They have a picture of you up at the Taco Bell now. Hanging right up.
What a bunch of bimbos.
Right above the register.
I would suggest for you drive off, you open up that bag and look inside and see if you got what you ordered. Because they're sure not paying attention.
Now, I very rarely go to a fast food place, but I never go through the drive line. Never do that. Number one, I can't hear what they're saying ever. And number two, like you say, it's always seems to be whatever's laying there gets thrown in the bag, and it may or may not be what you wanted.
Yeah.
So I always go in. I park and go in. I'm watching them. I see it. I stand right there, look at it. Like
now, I will say places like McDonald's, you're not ordering from there. It's going to a central call center.
Yeah, right.
And these are professional people to get there to get your order right.
Yeah. I don't know. I
have very low failure rate at the McDonald's.
No, I've always, it's the speakers. It seems like somebody, it's not the franchise fault or McDonald's or whoever, but it always seems like there's some knucklehead that's been out there punching the speaker and it's got holes in it and it's dented and somebody stuck a pin in it or something. And I very rarely understand any of them when they're talking through them. Doesn't matter where I've been. So I always just.
And the other end's hooked to a Johnny first time walkie-talkie.
That's about what I hear. So I just go in.
I say you're putting these people as your front foot forward to the public.
Yeah, well,
someone who hasn't got the brain power to get a single order right. In fact, they screw up the same order 4 times because they're not paying attention. Their brain's fried on something. It's just ridiculous that you would put somebody like that on a drive-up window.
Well, after a certain number of go-rounds, they just deliberately do that just so they can entertain themselves. They use your recording as a training exercise for everybody else.
Today, class, we're going to teach you how to piss off a client in less than 30 seconds.
And they'll have
just for your self-amusement.
And they're going to have your picture up there on the screen as they're going through.
Then you'll get your fat slob manager with her shirt hanging out to her knees and all wrinkled up and stained up. Looking like the person who pushes the trash out to the trash bin.
Well, see, that's another reason I always go in now. When you walk in the place, you get a sense of whether it's clean and run properly and people know what they're doing. I mean, I've walked in a couple, not around here, but, when traveling or something. And you walk into place and you slide across the floor because there's a light coat of grease down there, and you look around and you see people dressed exactly like you're talking about.
Yeah.
All greasy and spotty, and I've more than once turned right around and walked back out to my car to go somewhere else.
Yeah. It just amazes me the stupidity of the people they put on the door, on the window.
Well,
you want your best foot there. Properly trained people.
I would think
so. And not those putting their hand over the mic like this while they're talking. Hey, Billy, how was your day last night? Did you want a Mountain Dew with that? No, I wanted Pepsi. Mountain Dew, you said? Hey, Billy, was she hot?
Give me an orange Fanta.
Did you say you're fantasizing about me?
That's about what I hear. I just, hey, a windy day or breezy day or something, it's even worse.
Yeah, it just gets old. And I can see them now when they place the order. And be sure to include the Jaime dressing on that.
That's why you need to go to Philly and Colts. You won't have any of these problems.
Well, won't be going to Taco Bell anytime soon. Complete idiots there. All right. Hope you enjoyed your free advertising, too, by the way.
Or Biscuitville. Biscuitville's good, too.
Yeah, Biscuitville's good. Yeah, enjoyed that. Won't go to Burger King because they're too busy taking a bath in the sink. Found that out last week.
I still can't believe they have a sink that large.
Well, when you got knuckleheads that large, it takes a lot to and get your armpits.
Get your pits.
Sure want them armpits in our food.
Yeah, scrub it down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Glad you took your hairnet off. So all that hair could wander through the whole place.
And left your shorts on.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nasty.
Just think all that soap and where it's been.
Okay, yeah, let's.
That went breakfast thoughts, didn't it?
All right. I'm starting to choke up here.
All right.
Yuck.
Yeah, you never know who you're talking to when you're pissing them off. All right. Things we need to know so we don't sound stupid. Singer R. Kelly has been charged with 11 new sex-related counts, including some that carry maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. Bill Cosby's upset because he's locked up in prison, can't defend his record. Somebody's going to pass him. There's a new Rambo trailer out there. Yes, Sly is back at 72 years of age. But if you're keeping score, will be Rambo 5. It's been confirmed that Robert Pattinson is going to be the next Batman, which is a whole lot better than Christian Bale, who lifts off of the movie like this and talks so low that you can't understand him because of all the dramatic music around him. And all you can hear is, I'm Batman.
The Batman.
With a lisp.
He's the Batman.
He's horrible.
Is he?
Only thing, Alfred, I need the Batmobile. I got to talk like this so low so that you don't understand me. Former Chicago Bulls star Scottie Pippen is named his 5-year-old girl in a lawsuit over alleged damage to his Florida mansion, claiming she ruined his pad by defacing it with crayons and markers. Gee, what do 5-year-olds do? I don't know. Play with crayons and markers? Might not turn them loose in your house.
He's suing her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, it's somebody else's kid. She's suing her and probably the parents.
All right. Okay.
How am I ever going to get a rape victim here with all this on the wall?
Yeah, life is tough for the rich and famous. Right.
The world's smallest surviving newborn in San Diego is 8.6 ounces and has gone home.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Life starts pretty young.
Well, she won't grow up to be a Democrat. Baby killers.
Yeah. Harley Davidson is reportedly coming out with a sub 500cc motorcycle bike under $4,000.
Ooh, under.
In other words, Harley Davidson's making mopeds.
Yeah.
I can still see the annoying little moped in front of me now, except it'll have mufflers that go. Blah, 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 blah.
But everything, wheels will be optional. Brakes, things like that.
Oh, you wanted to stop?
Yeah.
Just use your feet, dude. This is our Flintstone model. Kenny Rogers was hospitalized for dehydration. New York University has canceled a class called Reporting on the Far Right because of lack of interest.
Okay.
Well, only liberal snowflakes at New York University. As of September 1st, sending a naked body picture via email will be a misdemeanor.
And where? And where was that?
Nationwide, I guess.
Nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
Sending naked body part pictures is a misdemeanor. So
what if you send a picture of your naked arm? Is that going to be a misdemeanor?
That would have to be federal law, then.
Yeah, I guess. Today's impossible question: how many people have walked on the moon?
I can't remember. Somebody just literally told me this 2 days ago or so before the weekend.
And your brain power just locked in on it, did it?
Sorry, forgot. It wasn't on my priority list. So.
Well, we went there. We landed 6 times. So how many would that be?
Well, if it's 3 apiece, but not all of them walked on the moon.
Right. One stays with the command module.
Right. Yeah. So 12 at most.
That's it. 12. Stop there.
12? Okay.
And who was the last one to pick his foot up off the moon?
Don't know.
Gene Cernan. Those that walked on the moon: Pete Conrad, Alan Bean, Alan Shepard, who was the first guy in space.
Right.
Only right he got to walk on the moon. He was part of the Mercury program.
I remember that discussion.
Edgar Mitchell, David Scott, James Irwin, John Young, Charles Duke, Harrison Schmitt, and Gene Cernan.
Okay.
And of all of those, I think Gene's the only one living. I'm not sure about that, but
I can't
many of them have
remember
passed away.
Either. Yeah, I mean, most of them, yeah, because they're pretty old.
Well, it's sad we haven't gone back in their lifetime.
Yeah.
We went from blowing up rockets on the launch pad to being on the moon and lasted 8 years.
Oh, I know.
And now they talk about going back and say, oh, it's a 20-year program because we will retire at the end of the 20 years because we're NASA good employees, and then we will get our pension. So we'll make it a 20-year program so we are locked in for the duration of the program.
Yeah.
And waste your tax money. Gee, we could get there in, say, 8 years, and now we have to redesign how to get there again. I vote for pulling out the old plans and let's go.
Well, certainly there's your starting point.
No, they're going to have 4 people on board now.
Yeah.
Did you know category 60% of women say they are willing to kiss a guy on a first date if he talks about his mother?
Okay, all right.
It just got creepy, huh?
Yeah.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the price of buffalo wings has gone up by 46% in recent years. Let's see. You see 6 lies per hour on the average soap opera. Study says that we spend 5 years of our life feeling bored. I don't know, if you're in traffic, it could be a lot longer. I pride myself.
Well, see, being in traffic doesn't count as being bored. That counts as being enraged.
Yeah, I pride myself on the ability to always find the slowest person on the road in Moore County and get behind them. That's a great talent I have. If music gives you goosebumps, you're probably happier, healthier, and friendlier than others. Or you need to change the channel to a talk station. Learn something, dummy. And 44% of women say comfortable pajamas is the most important thing to take on vacation.
Yeah.
No, money would be number 1. Pajamas aren't going to feed your face. I hate to tell you. All right, let's bob the Colonel a little deeper here. And let's get out of all the little buzzers as we get ready to play another rousing round of the Colonel's favorite game.
And now it's time for Yes!
Yes! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Or BS. Don't get me back too good.
All righty. Another round of Yes or BS.
Okay.
Well, we'll ask the Colonel a question, and he'll say, why, yes, that's true. Or no, it's total BS, Steve. All right, Colonel. Let's see. Today's subject. Let's see. So today's topic is shows you don't know have been on for 30 years. Shows you didn't realize have been on for 30 years. You're supposed to tell me whether, I'll let you know. Jeopardy has been on for over 30 years.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Ding, it is. They've done 47 seasons over the course of 55 years.
Yeah.
Art Fleming hosted from 64 to 79. I met him. He was very nice to me.
I watched him all the time when I was a kid.
Then the return with Alec Trebek in 1984, so even Trebek's version has been on for more than 30 years. The Simpsons have been on for over 30 years.
Yes, true.
No.
29.
It will be true, but not until December.
Yeah, okay. Here you go.
First episode aired on December 17th of 89. It's the longest running American sitcom of all time. Of all time. America's Funniest Home Video has been on for over 30 years.
I didn't know it was still on. So I have no clue if that's true or not. Yeah, I guess true.
No, it's not. It's another one of those hits 30th anniversary later this year.
Yeah, okay, great. So it's all been on more than 29 years, but less than 30. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. All right, good.
Yeah, these are gotcha questions.
Going on is 30 is good. Yeah.
Sports Center has been on for over 30 years.
I have no clue what that is. What channel is that on?
ESPN.
Oh, I don't know. No. fault.
Yes, it has. It premiered when ESPN launched on December 7th of 79.
I don't watch the bigoted ESPN.
And The Real World on MTV premiered over 30 years ago.
The Real World on MTV?
Yeah. You don't know, so just take a 50-50 shot here.
Yes.
You're wrong again.
I've never watched MTV.
His first season was 27 years ago.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You can tell how much I watch television.
All right, well, let's move on to...
It might be on in the background making noise, but
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention to it.
Well, let's move on to rim shots this morning. See how you fare with that. Adam Levin, he's the one that did the halftime show, ripped off his shirt to do a gay segment in there.
What halftime show?
At the Super Bowl.
This last Super Bowl?
Mhm.
All right, I didn't watch
You know, with all the tats he had to show off and
I didn't watch
kind of wiggled his tush for all the boys. Anyway, he walked away from $30 million when he left The Voice. Yeah. Don't you want to come back for another $30 million? I don't think so. That's when you know you make way too much money. It's too bad. With that kind of money, he could have bought himself a shirt or two, but he had to watch the Super Bowl to get hold of that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't.
Many of the original Star Wars cast members reunited last week at Disney World, or Disneyland, for the launch of the new Star Wars attraction. Not to say they haven't aged well, but the best-looking one was Yoda. It was a nice change for Billy D. Williams to actually go inside Disneyland instead of having to just stop off Uber customers there. You see him on Dancing with the Stars?
No, I didn't.
You would think he's qualified to work at Taco Bell.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
All he did was walk over here and walk over there. It wasn't any dancing to it.
Yeah. Well, how old is he?
I mean, he's in his 70s.
Yeah, okay. Well, why is he on Dancing with the Stars?
I'm saying if he walked across the floor, you're afraid to stare to me.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm just saying he was awful. I'd be more awful if I was doing it.
Well, there's no argument. I wouldn't claim to be any better.
Khloe Kardashian went to a high school prom with a fan. Even though he was in high school, Khloe said that she could tell he was already more mature than her last two guys. Just not as rich. She says, how in the world do you think I got here where I'm at? I dated rich men.
Would the kid win a contest or something to get her to
Oh, it's these kids do on prom. They go on Twitter and ask the star of their dreams to go to prom with them. Some of them take them up on it. Not many, but a few. Kenny Rogers denies he's near death despite being rushed to the hospital. Sounds like he doesn't know when to fold them anymore.
No, it sounds like he folded, actually.
R. Kelly's been charged with 11 extra sex crimes. Poor Bill Cosby. Thanks to jail, he can't do anything to keep his record from being broken, I guess.
Now, that guy's a rap star or something? This R. Kelly?
He's a singer, yeah.
Singer? Okay. I don't...
I'm sure it's rap. I don't keep up with his career too much.
He's in the,
when he started cold cocking women.
He's in the same class as Cosby, though. Yeah.
Probably worse. Both are bad. After being accused of plagiarizing an Ashton Kutcher speech, a West Virginia principal defended himself by saying it was unintentional, the whole speech. However, he was still fired for finding Ashton Kutcher quote-worthy. And a man was beaten with a guitar and a snare drum in a Nashville hotel room. On the bright side, he was in the right city to sell a country song, so there you go. I'm tired of you playing your music. I'm going to beat you up with your own damn guitar and drum. So they did. All righty. 8:52 past the hour. Let's see here. I won't go this route. Do I have one? No, I don't have one. Bad day for it. Thought perhaps we were going to have... Oh, here it is. Photo of a fourth grade teacher in Texas running to warn parents about a tornado is going viral because you can see the funnel cloud forming in the background. The parents were waiting in line to pick up the kids, and luckily no one was hurt. It's hard to tell from the photo, but the teacher was in her bare feet and wearing a costume for the last day of school, including a fake mustache. Here she is talking about it afterwards.
That is such a crazy photo, and thank you to Forever Took It, because I don't think anyone would have really believed me that I was running down the street and that I looked ridiculous doing it. And so I'm just really grateful, though, that everyone ended up being safe and we got a good laugh out of it.
And don't be picking up your kids, be getting out of your cars and come inside. It happens to be see that funnel crown? It's got a tornado in it.
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah. All right. I think we got time. So, we've got time for at least one. Let's go get them. What do you say?
I'll get you, my pretty.
Put them away.
What we've got here is...
What is that?
failure to communicate.
And perfect timing.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
And the good old Bad Boys theme.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Okay. Time once again, my friends, to start across that floor in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up those closet doors, look at all 30 of our closets, and, 30 of our safes. And wander over here to safe number 5. And open that bad boy up and let the colonel
There's something in here today.
reach in and grab our weapon of choice today.
Last week one was empty. We did. There's a nice 45 Colt Peacemaker in there.
All right.
Holster and
wide earth.
There you go.
Throw that long barrel thing right in my holster here. Depending on our badge, grab 5 cans of some whoop ass, and out the door we go now in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1, there's a 47-year-old guy named Michael Kumau, and he's the principal at Holly Family Catholic School in Port Allen, Louisiana. And last week he was one of the chaperones on a school field trip to Washington, D.C. Well, apparently on Thursday night, he ducked out. Went down the street to a strip club.
They still have them in D.C.?
And then he got super drunk and refused to pay his bill. So the club called the police. Well, anyway, Michael was arrested for public intoxication. He almost immediately resigned as principal. He'd been the principal there for 5 years. He'd come from another school where he resigned after $120,000 in Hurricane Katrina recovery donations were misused.
Great. Like the strip club, I imagine.
Yeah, we'll hire him over here. Come on over. Set an example for our children.
We have a strip club.
Yeah, I don't have enough time to be fair to this one right here, so we'll call it a quits there. And that's your stupid criminal news for today. What I do have time for, won't play the intro, a few random facts. More than 3 million Americans over the age of 60 are still paying their student loans off. Wow. That's a total of more than $86 billion in unpaid student loans. Read an article last week about kids go overseas to escape.
Yes, they do.
Those student loans. Even a bullet through your head you can't escape the student loans.
Nope.
The world's first breast implants were given to a dog named Ezra in Texas in 1962, or at least to see if they'd work. They did, so doctors started giving them to people. And only 23 people have ever gone scuba diving below 790 feet.
Yeah.
I am not one of them.
No.
All right, so it goes for this Monday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a titillating Tuesday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans, they have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Coke the Dog. We'll all see you this afternoon at 2 at the Perfect Weathered Dog Park. Play radio. All right, you got to get that mic.
I got to do it. Okay, all right.
All right. Now give me a level.
I'm Jeff Drummond with a WEEB Viewpoint editorial.
Say it again.
I'm Jeff Drummond with a
From the beginning.
Okay. I'm Jeff Drummond with a WEEB Viewpoint editorial. In 2016, SFLA Architects was selected as the architect for our 3 proposed elementary schools. SFLA was part of a group of 14 architectural firms that initially submitted their credentials for consideration. A review committee consisting of School Board Chairman Cunningham, School Board Member Caldwell, Dr. Grimacy, Mr. Barath, Mr. Leeson, Dr. Pruden, and Mrs. Cooper reviewed these submissions and picked the top 5 contending firms for a formal interview. SFLA Architects made the cut down to 5 firms. Following the interviews, the committee ranked them and selected SFLA Architects. At this point, the key to the process is the selection committee membership of Mr. Barath, and this is the reason. He's a former employee He's a former employee of SFLA Architects. So why was he on the committee? Clearly this is a conflict of interest. Even a modicum of personal integrity demands he should have excluded himself from the selection committee. Failing the personal integrity check, any other of the members of the selection committee probably should have suggested he exclude himself from the deliberations. Although maybe the members weren't aware of Mr. Barath's prior employment with SFLA. After all, not all of them would be in a... Yeah. Although maybe the members weren't aware of Mr. Start there? Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to point to you, okay?
Although maybe the members weren't aware of Mr. Barath's prior employment with SFLA. After all, not all of them would be in a position to know his employment background. Certainly not all the public members, maybe not the school board members either, but that's a stretch. But certainly Dr. Grimacy would know Barath was a former SFLA employee. So, Dr. Bob, why didn't you leave Barath off the board? That would have removed any appearance of conflict of interest. Really makes me wonder what you think about it. Of course, maybe Barath mentioned his SFLA relationship during the proceedings. We could take a peek at the minutes of the selection process and the interviews to see what Barath said. But wait, John Zumwalt FOIA'd all those records and was told that no minutes of the process or interviews were kept. That's right. A government agency kept no minutes or transcripts of a process that involved millions of taxpayer dollars. I guess a school board appointed committee couldn't find someone with the requisite skills to write it all down, or maybe push a button on a recording device. Really, folks, our school board makes spending decisions worth millions of dollars, tax dollars, without a record of the proceedings. What amateurs. This has been a Viewpoint editorial by Jeff Drummond. Did I rattle the paper? Okay. Is it? Okay.
Probably about 2.5 up
Yeah, I forgot. I did add some shit in there. Now, maybe I might need to read something over again. process is the selection committee membership of Mr. Barath, and this is the reason. He's a former employee He's a former He's a former employee of SFLA Architects. So why was he on the committee? Clearly this is a conflict of interest. Even a modicum of personal integrity demands he should have excluded himself from the selection committee. Failing the personal integrity check, any other of the members of the selection committee probably should have suggested he exclude himself from the deliberations. Although maybe the members weren't aware of Mr. Barath's prior employment with SFLA. After all, not all of them would be in a position to know his employment background. Certainly not all the public members, maybe not the school board members either, but that's a stretch. But certainly Dr. Grimacy would know Barath was a former SFLA employee. So, Dr. Bob, why didn't you leave Barath off the board? That would have removed any appearance of conflict of interest. Really makes me wonder what you think about it. Of course, maybe Barath mentioned his SFLA relationship during the proceedings. We could take a peek at the minutes of wonder what you think about it. Of course, maybe Barath mentioned his SFLA relationship during the proceedings. We could take a peek at the minutes of the selection process and the interviews to see what Barath said. But wait, John Zumwalt FOIA'd all those records and was told that no minutes of the process or interviews were kept. That's right. A government agency kept no minutes or transcripts of a process that involved millions of taxpayer dollars. I guess a school board appointed committee couldn't find someone with the requisite skills to write it all down, or maybe push a button on a recording device. Really, folks, our school board makes spending decisions worth millions of dollars, tax dollars, without a record of the proceedings. What amateurs. This has been a Viewpoint editorial by Jeff Drummond. This has been a Viewpoint editorial by I'm Jeff Drummond with a WEEB Viewpoint editorial. In 2016, SFLA Architects was selected as the architect for our 3 proposed elementary schools. SFLA was part of a group of 14 architectural firms that initially submitted their credentials for consideration. A review committee consisting of School Board Chairman Cunningham, School Board Member Caldwell, Dr. Grimacy, Mr. Barath, Mr. Leeson, Dr. Pruden, and Mrs. Cooper reviewed these submissions and picked the top 5 contending firms for a formal interview. SFLA Architects made the cut down to 5 firms. Following the interviews, the committee ranked them and selected SFLA Architects. At this point, the key to the process is the selection committee membership of Mr. Barath, and this is the reason. He's a former employee of SFLA Architects. So why was he on the committee? Clearly this is a conflict of interest. Even a modicum of personal integrity demands he should have excluded himself from the selection committee. Failing the personal integrity check, any other of the members of the selection committee probably should have suggested he exclude himself from the deliberations. Although maybe the members weren't aware of Mr. Barath's prior employment with SFLA. After all, not all of them would be in a position to know his employment background. Certainly not all the public members, maybe not the school board members either, but that's a stretch. But certainly Dr. Grimacy would know Barath was a former SFLA employee. So, Dr. Bob, why didn't you leave Barath off the board? That would have removed any appearance of conflict of interest. Really makes me wonder what you think about. Of course, maybe Barath mentioned his SFLA relationship during the proceedings. We could take a peek at the minutes of the selection process and the interviews to see what Barath said. But wait, John Zumwalt FOIA'd all those records and was told that no minutes of the process or interviews were kept. That's right. A government agency kept no minutes or transcripts of a process that involved millions of taxpayer dollars. I guess a school board appointed committee couldn't find someone with the requisite skills to write it all down, or maybe push a button on a recording device. Really, folks, our school board makes spending decisions worth millions of dollars, tax dollars, without a record of the proceedings. What amateurs. This has been a Viewpoint editorial by Jeff Drummond. I'm Jeff Drummond with a WEEB Viewpoint editorial. In 2016, SFLA Architects was selected as the architect I'm Jeff Drummond with a WEEB Viewpoint editorial. In 2016, SFLA Architects was selected as the architect for our 3 proposed elementary schools. SFLA was part of a group of 14